Yeah, so I had started playing it a little bit earlier, so the music kind of came in a little bit after the beginning, but same effect nonetheless. We're ready to rock out.
It was fun because I immediately hit. I was like, I don't know why I just hit that fast. So got some fingers on the go, baby.
Well, no, I actually started playing the music before I hit record, so it was my fault. We made that mistake that one time.
Oh my God. Dude, that was, to this day, every time we start recording, I look now like, are we counting down?
Not going to make that mistake again.
We're not doing that a second time.
Hell no.
Shoot. Oh, shoot. What is up, everybody? How are we doing tonight?
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of UNN, Ultra Running News Network. Had some pretty good weekend of races. We already went over Badwater results on the last episode, but we do have something else to talk about with Badwater, which we'll get to after the race results. I think we're gonna start with Crazy Mountain 100. Seems like this race is becoming more and more popular. At least I kind of heard a lot of hype about it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Crazy Mountain 100 is a point-to-point 100 in Montana, and it's 23,000 feet of gain. It reaches 10,000 feet above sea level. It's in central Montana. I guess it's pretty scenic. I think it's pretty technical. Let's look at some of the pictures here.
Yeah. While you look at some of the photos, on the note of it being technical, I remember I came across like their Instagram page, which we now follow because it's mind-bending. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I was reading their post. I was reading one of their posts, or maybe I had staggered onto their website, one or the other. But there is a comment on somewhere that's related to them that basically says, hey, listen, there will be times that you will not be on a trail and you need to be able to basically get across like a open mountaintop. You know what I mean? And realize like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I don't know, man. Like it is. I am in love with this race.
Yeah. So just these pictures alone, I mean, this is the true mountains. Like,
it is. And I guess I knew Montana had these, right? Like I know they had them. I don't know if I knew they had them to this extent. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I knew about this. But man, oh man, it is.
Yeah.
It is next level.
It is, it looks very rocky. Imagine that, rocky mountain.
Yeah.
But it looks pristine. I mean, just awesome views. And I didn't read too much about it, but that I don't know how to pronounce it. The Awaxapaya.
Oh yeah, the way to pronounce
Crow Nation.
Yeah.
That's I'm guessing the natives from that area. And speaking of that, the belt buckle is really cool. Did you see the belt buckle for this race?
Yeah, it is super dope. It is super dope.
So there's Andrew Glaze ran it. Of course, he runs all the hundreds.
It is amazing. It might be one of the prettiest buckles out there.
Yeah, it's nice.
It has two little pieces of the blue. What is the blue stone? Not jade or topaz or something like that.
Topaz, anyway, maybe.
Yeah. But then like the way it has like the copper look to it, it is.
Yeah.
It is an amazing buckle, man.
It's really cool. Yeah. Even Andrew Glaze said he has so many buckles, but this is one that he's like, this is one of the best ones.
Yeah. The other thing that really struck me about this race is multiple times when I kind of dipped in and looked at like how the race was going, or was kind of stalking their Instagram account. I came across them live one time. I just happened to go on Instagram and they were live, and they were at the finish line, or maybe it's a I think they were live. Maybe it's a reel that was live, but they were at the finish line, and dude, there were people in full on ass puffer parkas in sleeping bags, bundled up, and I'm like, bro, it is late July, and these cats look like it's like freezing outside. I was like, that race,
it's super remote.
Yeah, it's way out. Okay, on the page you're on now, scroll down a little bit. A little bit more. Boom, that picture right there. We just went by it. Up a little bit. When they're sitting on that ridge. Sitting on the ridge. Dude.
Yeah.
That looks like it is. I mean, that looks like some French Swiss kind of nonsense. Like, they look like they are way up there right now.
To me, it looks like the Himalayas almost, with the flags. And
yes, like the holy flags. Like, it looks like it is way up there.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, it is a absolutely beautiful looking race. I would love to give this thing a go, but
I wonder what the cutoff is. Because that's a pretty serious race. 23,000 feet in a remote mountain course.
Yeah.
Finish line closes at 6 p.m. Saturday. Race started at 6 a.m. on Friday. So
it started 6 a.m. Friday.
Yeah, so 36 hours.
And it closes at 6 p.m. Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
36.
36.
That's tough.
Dude, that is, your ass better be getting it on whatever little bit of flat or down you can find it.
That's right.
Because, I mean, that's a tough race, man. And like I said, I've read multiple little blurbs about it. It is not meant to be. Like, it is a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
So for the women, there was a new course record set by none other than Rachel Entricken, winner of Cocodona 250 this year. She did it in 25 hours and 4 minutes. That's it's pretty awesome. And then Kyla Mar got second, 25 hours and 48 minutes, which is also under the previous course best. And then on the men's side, Seth Swanson won in 22 hours and 7 minutes, second fastest course time. And Brandon Benefield, second, 22 hours, 34 minutes. So pretty impressive. Good to see Rachel Entricken getting another win. She's been on fire this year.
Starting to rack them up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was Crazy Mountain. Looks like a fun mountain race. Let's go to Ohio next.
Hey. Speaking of, you to do Crazy Mountain, you can always knock out
Burning River.
Yeah, Burning River free qualifier, I think. Oh shoot. Yeah, Burning River. It's a 100-miler. It's been around for a while.
Oh, I mean, not long, 18 years.
Yeah, not near as long as Mo. Yeah, not near as long as Mohican. It's not, but 18 years is it, Mark?
18 years, yep.
Nice. All right,
Which that's a long time for 100.
Yeah.
And Burning River was my very first attempt at a 100-miler, and I had a foot pain. I limped for at least 20 miles, and then I ended up timing out at mile 74. And back then it was a point-to-point race. It started in Willoughby Hills and went down to Cuyahoga. Was it Cuyahoga Falls? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went back like 2 years later, I went back and I did get Burning River done. And it was still a point-to-point then. But then I think they lost their permit for Cuyahoga Valley or something happened, and they ended up making it a out and back.
Yeah. And not only is it now an out and back, but it's kind of an out and back of like not even the fun section. You know what I mean? Like I hate to be that person, but like it's like the out and back now, it's you know what I mean? It's just
is it a lot of like is it a lot of road or is it towpath?
I think it's a lot of that towpath that they have. You know, you remember how it used to have a lot, because I'm like 90% positive what it does now is it starts at the finish, goes out and comes in. So you know how you finish
yes,
on
that's what it does.
Yeah. So it's that towpath that everyone used to, because it kept that, right? Like it kept its finish, and now you just going out that. So
gotcha.
What's kind of funny is because of that though, I think it is a much faster 100. I mean, not that it was ever a slow 100, but I think it is a faster 100 now because you're on less single track than you used to be. But yeah.
Is it? I wonder if it's less climbing too, because there used to be like climbing in Cuyahoga. I mean, it was maybe 9,000 or 10,000 overall, but.
So it's funny you bring up the climbing. One of the absolute funniest things that dude, Chaz Adams, right? Been on the show. He's so far only guest we've ever had on.
Yep.
To this day, the guy has racked up some really great races.
Oh yeah.
To this day, people still make fun of him for his over dramatization of the stairs at the end of the race
and the 50 miler.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh my God, there's still so many stairs. There must have been like a half a mile worth of stairs," and like just went on and on and on and on about all these stairs. And like to this day, people are like, "Hey, remember?" Like, by the way, for the folks who've not done, like, I think there's like a dozen stairs. Like, there's next to none. Right? Like,
I don't even remember stairs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so little. You know what I mean? But like to this day. But yeah. So Pete Griggs year before, ran like the back 50, I think, with them, because now that's the other thing that kind of makes Burning River. You love it, you hate it, you know, whatever your 2 cents are on it. Some people love stuff like this, some people don't. What I'm getting ready to say, Burning River has a smorgasbord of distances you can run. They have obviously the 100, they have the front 50, they have the back 50, they have relay races, they have you name it, you want it. Like Burning River probably has it. But anyways, Pete and Chaz ran the back 50, and like Pete was like, "Dude, I could not wait to get to that point." And they get there, Pete's like, "What the fuck?" And still just roast him about it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like we'll just randomly pull up, like, "Hey, remember the stairs?" Like, "Oh, shut up!" It's so stupid, so dumb.
Yeah.
But,
interesting.
I kind of sort of want to do Burning River when I'm allowed to start running again, and when I'm allowed to start running again in October. I weirdly think that Burning River might kind of line up really, really well for me, where like, okay, I can get back in shape and be ready for that. You know what I mean? Because like, if I can start shuffling around in October, you know, you use whatever you want to use in the spring. Yep. Maybe drop Mo 50 miler in there as a little warm up race.
Dude, every year I did Burning River, I did Mo 50 for like the warm up race. Yeah, it's like 6 weeks out.
Yeah,
it's all it used to be. Now it's earlier though.
Now it's even more out. Yeah. Did you? I'm gonna ask a controversial question. It's gonna be. Was Mo 50 almost in some ways more challenging than Burning River 100?
I mean, 100-miler, no matter how you draw it up, has that added element of 50 more miles, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you're tired. You're going into the night.
but the race itself, yeah. I mean, Mo is way more difficult.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. Like the second time I did Burning River, I was very steady. I had some experience at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with just moving forward and getting it done. But
yeah. I think I'd like to try Burning River just so I mean,
yeah,
because
it's a good comeback race.
Yeah. I mean, if we're feeling super froggy, and Jen is out in the living room, she's going to hear me say this. She'd be like, oh, hell no. But you could do Mo 50 next year, Burning River 100, and then the other 100 that's now in Ohio, Canal Corridor 100, which is like in like October or November, which Canal Corridor, that 100-miler, like it's up in Northeast Ohio. You'll freeze to death of that thing at that time of year, possibly. So,
Is that all towpath?
Yeah, that thing is flat as the tabletop we're sitting at, and it's just towpath forever and a day. And it's weird. It's very I believe I could definitely be wrong about this. I'm like 99.9% positive that it's very tunnel hill-ish. And the fact that you start in the middle, you go out, you come back, you go out, and you come back, and then you're done. I believe. So why are so many towpath hundreds like that?
I don't know. I guess
all of them. I'm talking about two.
Honestly, I'm guessing it's because of logistics for the race director. I mean, it's easier to have one, a couple aid stations versus like having to have them all the way down.
Just like a line of like a dozen of them going down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
I'm sure that's it, but all right. So Burning River this year. Oh, one more thing I want to say about Burning River. So you said that it has a bunch of options. Well, the first year I did Burning River, it was only 100. There was no other races involved. There was maybe a relay, I'm thinking. Maybe. But the second time I did it, I think there was a 50-miler.
Yeah.
And a relay. But anyway. First place overall went to Heath Goshorn, who ran 15 hours and 23 minutes. That's the second.
Jeez.
That's the second best time on the revised out and back course. And Eric Limkeman finished second, 16 hours and 4 minutes. In the women's race, Brenda Johnson finished first and seventh overall in 19 hours and 19 minutes. That's the second fastest time on the out and back course. So the first place male, first place female, both set the second best times. Catherine Ragstad took second, 20 hours and 54 minutes.
Dude, that is cooking. 15:23.
Yeah. That's a fast Burning River.
Yeah.
I wonder what the fastest time on the point-to-point course was.
Is it right? Hold on. I think it's actually on the initial 100-miler, like the OG 100-miler. Oh, wait, maybe it's not there.
I wonder if it's on Ultra Sign Up, maybe.
I bet it is.
I don't know what year. Don't know what year it switched.
Well, and I will tell you this. In 2010, right? No, holy smokes. In in 2013. In 2013, there was a time of 14:25:14 ran.
Wow. Wait, what year?
2013.
That's the year I DNF'd. And you know what? That was the year. It was the 100-mile track and field. The ATF or AT whatever that organization is. USATF 100-mile championship was there that year.
Yeah. Someone hammered out a 14:25:14. Is that the fact? You got the course record pulled up?
Yeah. So overall male course record was Arlen Glick in 2021. So that's the out and back course, right? 2021.
That is the out and back. Yeah.
14 hours and 15 minutes. And female 2010 16 out. Annette Bednowski 16 hours 44 minutes
for the women.
So yeah, and that was 2010. That was before the out and back course.
2010 is the point to point. Yeah.
So I don't know for the men. They don't differentiate between the old and new course, I guess. So
that does kind of suck. I would be stunned if 14:25 in 2013 is not the fastest. I mean, that is freaking blazing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, that had to be the record for the old course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, wait. Hold on, wait. It has to be then, because I'm looking at this race started in 2007, right?
18 years, so.
Yeah, so it'd be 2007.
Yeah, 2007.
So
around there.
So 14:25 is, because I'm looking at 2007 through 2020. I'm looking at all 13 years of the point to point.
Okay.
And 14:25. God, dude, every time I say it, I'm like, that is just absolutely ridiculous how fast that is.
Yeah. I don't
know if I recognize this name, Peter Hogg.
Oh, why does that sound familiar?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? So Peter Hogg has the course record, the point to point. It's the 14:25:14. Second place, 15:48.
Wow.
You want to take a wild stab in the dark? Who's second place? Well, you'll never guess who second place was. Second place, though, Michael Owen.
That makes sense. Yeah, he won, or he was tearing it up. He's won Mohican, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Owen? Oh, yeah, I think yeah. But what's wild is Peter Hogg. I mean, one, holding a course record that fast, but two, to beat Michael Owen by an hour and 20 some odd minutes.
Yeah. That's fast.
Homie's getting it. Yeah.
That's right.
Old Peter's done some shit.
Yeah, I bet.
He's done Leadville.
Okay. He sounds really familiar.
Yeah, that name does ring a bell, actually.
All right. Let's keep it in the Midwest, and let's jump over to Minnesota Voyager. This is a classic 50-miler. Yeah. Started in 1981. So this race has been going on for 43 years now.
Yeah.
And actually, I read Scott Jurick's one of his books, The Eat and Run, and this was his first ultra was Minnesota Voyager. So that's it's pretty classic. And let's see, this was a difficult year. They had hot temps, high humidity. Finisher rate was 60%. Amy Whelan was first for the women, 10 hours and 5 minutes. Kimberly Hurst second, 10 hours, 22 minutes. For the men, William Howard won, 8 hours, 36 minutes. And Adrian Swanson, 8 hours and 42 minutes. So looks like the men's race was, men's and women's race were kind of close.
Yeah.
There's a dude laying in some muddy ass water.
Dude, that looks gross, dude.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, sometimes it's just not worth it. Like,
Dude, just that's the water that you lay in, that the little fish swim up little holes and eat you from the inside out. Like, that water is gross looking.
yeah, like what kind of bacteria is floating around in that shit?
Water is foul looking.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh,
that's giving me that's gross.
It's just like a puddle of still water. Like,
I mean, the amount of mosquitoes and horse bites he had to shoo away to lay in that is just repulsive. Like, I don't understand that. Like,
Nick Swanson, man, come on.
Gross.
All right. Let's head back out west. I want to talk about this Standhope 100. Somebody had pointed this race out to me last year, and this looks like a really, really tough race as well. I'll show you some of the pictures from this thing. So this is in Idaho, like in very remote Idaho. And from my understanding, this is a very technical race. Again, though, it's a true mountain race. The pictures look awesome. I mean, the single track looks pretty nice from the pictures, but anyway, yes. I wanted to point this out too. They have maybe the best finish line in all of ultras. Okay, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a red line across the sidewalk.
Dude, we're looking like this is just a parking lot. I don't even know. It's not even a strip mall. It's just like a parking lot with a couple buildings, and there's a red line drawn in chalk across the sidewalk, and then there's like some little gnome statue on the end.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then there's two guys just holding some yellow keep out caution tape, and first place female Ginny Robbins is crossing the finish line, and it's just hilarious. Like, mad respect for that finish line.
I really feel like that finish line is like the town hall.
Yeah.
Like, it's just outside the town hall building, or like the town hall rec center or something like that. That's that building to the immediate right. And the dude in the black t-shirt's like a volunteer for the race, maybe the race director. And old boy in the yellow is like a volunteer firefighter or something like that. Oh shit, we got the winner coming in. Grab some of the crowd.
Hey, you come here. Give us a hand.
Hey Frank, hold this tape. Like, it's just 100% like so funny.
It is definitely classic. So this is a 100-miler. I couldn't find out how much climbing there was. I was looking at the runner's manual. But you know, it's a true mountain race. So I'm guessing. Oh wait, what do we got here? Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a true mountain race, so I'm guessing. It's at least 20,000.
Yeah, look at her winning time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, look at her winning time. It's like 26 hours. Like
24 or.
Her time was 26. I don't know what the guy's was.
No. She was first overall. She beat everybody.
Yeah, she beat Sky. Sky's time was 26. Yes. Sky, the first place guy, rhymes, was 26:10. She won it with 24:51. Yes. Yeah.
So Ginny Robbins is a badass and won this race outright, 24 hours 51 minutes.
Redunculous. Like, what are we talking about? So have you jumped over to their ultra sign up page, Standhope's?
No, I have not.
There's their picture, like the picture that is like their ultra sun up, like it is like enough to almost make your like give your buttermilk belly. Like it is pretty sketch looking. So
Yeah, I knew it's technical. I had looked at this race before when somebody told me about it.
it is so again.
Wow, that's really cool.
Again, though, like that mountain, like that just true mountain, like out in Idaho, it's just beautiful, man. Like
so they reach a high point of 11,000 feet. This is an excellent trainer for any high altitude 50 or 100 miler. Very difficult.
Wait,
very
they
difficult, exceptionally beautiful.
Why would they call this a good trainer? What are we talking about?
I have no idea. Yeah. Please do not sign up for this event unless you are prepared for a long, tough day in the mountains with an average vertical climb of 325 feet per mile. Okay. So that means there's 32,500 feet of climbing?
Golly days.
All your aid is hiked in?
Dude, could you, I mean, being a volunteer at this race would be a motherfucker. Like,
hell yeah.
Like,
God. You know what that tells me? That tells me that these aid stations are anemic.
Yeah, dude, you better be. Yes. Yeah.
Because at Fat Dog, they had between miles 40 and 80, and then between miles 80 and 105.
Mm-hmm.
Those aid stations are remote hiking aid stations, and they like didn't have anything. Like dude. It was. I mean, they had a little bit, but it was pretty anemic. So if the aid stations are hiking, you better really be prepared.
This is that race that you don't come and do unless you are like, you know what, I can put all of my. Okay, if I get to an aid station, great. If I don't, no worries. I will have all my aid in my pack. Like this, that kind of race where you're basically like, I'll fast track it. Like I'll just carry my aid with me. And I'll have a small ruck on my back and just go after it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared because that means that they're likely filtering water too. So, you definitely have to be prepared. So yeah, congrats to Jenny for first place overall. That's man, pretty impressive.
Yeah, dude. Like this thing is absolutely awesome.
Cool. So that's Standhope. And then here's another race I've been hearing a lot about lately, the Never Summer 100K in Gould, Colorado. And Justin Grunwald, who's, you know, we hear his name a lot. He got first place. And let's see, 11 hours and 39 minutes, the Never Summer 100K. It's in State Forest State Park in northern central Colorado. So second and third place was really close. Geoff Burns and Benjamin Bruno. They dueled through the race and they finished 4 minutes apart. Burns ran 12 hours 54, which is quite a bit longer than Justin's first place finish. And Bruno was 12 hours and 58 minutes. Lindsay Anderson won for the women, 13 hours 46. And Sandy Nypaver and Lee Mulligan were second and third, 14 hours and 2 minutes, 14 hours and 16 minutes. So, excuse me. So yeah, Never Summer 100K. I believe that's a pretty tough race. I don't really know the stats on that one either.
Yeah.
But
so because I was still kind of nerding out on the last race.
Yeah.
And I found a new link to click on. Listen, this is back on Standhope, okay?
Yeah.
They happen to have a little section that I came across. Where will I get lost? Is literally the name of the section on the website.
Wow.
And 5, they have 5 points. The first one's nothing crazy, right? Top of the first climb, the trail you need descends to the left. After you crest the high point, the wrong trail is extremely easy to follow and descends to the right. Okay, fair enough. Stay to my left as I crest the first climb. No big deal. Top of the second climb. Elk like this area and may eat the ribbons. This is not uncommon.
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
you get to the top of the second climb and there's just a giant ass elk up there eating the ribbons, like motherfucker. Like you're just like, what do I do?
The cows will eat the ribbons too.
Yeah.
In Colorado, that's a problem in some areas.
Number 3, Surprise Valley. There is no trail. If you lose the trail, just keep going, heading uphill. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
if
enough.
you're going downhill, you're going the wrong way.
I love it. I love it. Like there's 2 other ones that are not near as good, but like those are just like. Number 5 does repeat. Animals may eat the ribbons. I love that. Like by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, here's going back to staying on Standhope. Here's their chart. So from the start line, you have a 1,600 foot climb, and then 5 miles in, then you have a 4,000 foot climb, and then the next section is 2,375. Next section, 3,625, 2,875, 2,500. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections in a row where you have like, from 2,400 to 4,000 feet of climbing in each section.
Yeah.
And then you must be a descending section 200. Then you have a 2125, and then a 4125, and then 0, and 1250, 3125. Like those are some massive climbing sections. So what's the cutoff? The start. Oh, it's a nighttime start. Oh, gross.
So keep that in mind. Nighttime start, first climb, right? Nighttime start, first climb. The trail is easy to actually go off onto your right. So there your dumbass goes in the middle of the night off onto the
I shouldn't say in the dark. It starts at 6:15, so I'm sure the sun is starting to go down at that point.
6:15. I don't know. You should have a couple hours of daytime.
Yeah.
But
7:15 is the cutoff at that first aid station. And then so if it starts at 6:15 it starts at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So 6 p.m. on Friday, and then the cutoff is 12 p.m. on Sunday. So 36. Okay, it's pretty generous.
Yeah, well, it's more than 36, right? It's like 40.
36 would be 6 p.m. on Saturday, and then you can add another 6 hours onto that, right?
No. It's more than that. It starts at 6 o'clock Friday, right?
Oh.
So 24 gets you to Saturday.
Oh, 12 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah. So you got till noon Sunday.
Noon.
Yeah. So you got 24, and then you got 36 until 6 a.m. Sunday morning would be 36 hours. And then you got another 6 hours until noon. So you have 40 hours. You have 42 hours. You have 42 hours for this, if my math is right.
Yeah. So, yeah, because let's see, 48 hours would be 6 p.m. on Sunday, right? So just subtract 6. So, yeah, you're right. 42 hours.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard race if there's a 42-hour cutoff.
And I'm poking around on their website. I still have not found a good map of like there's a course map and aid station. on their website, but it is 30, 60, and 30 kilometer course map and profile. There's nothing for the 100 that I can find.
Oh, well, this says total ascent 20,250, but they said there's 325 feet per mile gain, so that doesn't add up. This is Google, though. Google Connect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just found that Google Docs.
You know what? I guess we're just going to have to look up some people on Strava and see what they're getting.
We have to do some Strava. Or, you know what we can just do? We can just sign you up and let you go run it next year.
Oh, man. If it's not a Hard Rock qualifier, yeah, no, I'm not going to go through that unless it's a Hard Rock qualifier.
Yeah, no.
All right. All right, let's move on. There was a race in Alaska, which is actually one of AJW's under the radar races, which we haven't gone over yet. But this is on the what's that called? The Kenai Peninsula, which is off the southern coast. And that thing is known to get the worst weather. Like, I knew a guy in the military that lived on the Kenai Peninsula, and he was like, all year round, it was just so windy and like raining all the time. It's 100-miler. Starts Friday afternoon. Man, what's up with all these Friday afternoon and evening starts? Like, just brutal.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, Joff Rose, like famous ultra runner, former Western States winner, Joff Rose, holds the current course record. Yeah, it's a low-key community-driven event. There's never been an entry fee. It's all donation-based, which is really awesome.
Damn.
This is a well-organized fat ass is what they refer to it. The event's gone through a number of different race directors over the years. This is the 28th year for the 50-miler and the 21st year for the 100-miler. It's called Resurrection Pass 100 in Cooper Landing, Alaska. But it's always maintained the low-key vibe. It's a environmentally sensitive area. It's remote. Growth in popularity last few years has caused them to approach things a little differently. For many years, it operated without a permit or without an official registration process. But these days, they have a permit with the U.S. Forest Service. And
that is some Alaskan level shit right there.
Hell yes.
The real last frontier.
The off the grid, yeah.
Man, like fuck a permit.
The DIY, yeah. I'm just gonna move here and just stake my claim.
That is wild, dude. That picture scares the shit out of me right there.
Yeah. I was at Mount Tam one day when the trail was turned into a waterfall.
Yeah.
It was freaky crossing that thing. Okay, so what do we got for results? Let's go over to the results page. Oh, I think I went past it. Here it is. Okay. Tori Short won the men's race 23 hours, 56 minutes. Meg Inokuma was the overall winner. Another race where the female reigns supreme. That's 20 hours and 52 minutes.
That's 2 this week and 3 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So Meg was the overall winner, 20 hours, 52 minutes. So not only was she the overall winner, she beat the first place male by like almost 5 hours.
Dusted his ass. All right.
That's strong.
We're making another round trip to Standhope. I just sat and just added up all. So column me on that one Google Doc that you're on.
Yeah.
right, is climb to next.
Yeah.
Hence elevation gain. Elevation gain for the race, drum roll please, a very modest 27,832.
Okay, so it's right in the middle of what they claim on the website.
Yeah, so 27,832 according to E column. Now, I feel like a 42-hour finish that's pretty generous for that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of. You got to have your climbing legs with you, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you are. Yeah.
There was that much climbing in Fat Dog, and granted, it was like 28 more miles, but it took me every bit of that 48 hours to finish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's doable, though, man. It's doable.
So, anywho, there we go. All right, back to the next race again.
No, thanks for adding that up. That's good to know. That's one thing I always look for in a race. I was like, how much climbing?
Yeah.
Is it technical? What's the cutoff?
And that race does look like that Standhope looked like it had some parts where there's some rocks on that trail. You know what I mean? Like there's some rocks on that trail.
Yeah. Everything I've looked into and read about it, it's pretty technical, but again, Idaho is just awesome mountain state. All right. So there was a race, Aravaipa race, Tushars Mountain Runs in Eagle Point Ski Resort in Utah. I didn't know that Aravaipa was doing a race in Utah, but
man, they've
really expanded. But this is a race at high altitude. Most of the course is around 10,000 feet above sea level, and it's 100K. Adam Loomis won in 11 hours 39 minutes, and Stacy Marion 15 hours 45 minutes. They had a 70K as well. Ryan Raff won for the men, and Addie Bracey won for the women. So 8 hours 42 and 9 hours and 36.
It looks like Aravaipa. Was Aravaipa doing a live feed of Tushars?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I think they maybe were.
They very well could have. I mean, they're doing live feeds every weekend, it seems.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Let's talk about Badwater. And like I said, we already went over the results, so we're not talking about results, but we are talking about someone who did something extremely badass.
Yeah.
Harvey Lewis, he gets to the end of Badwater, and this wasn't even planned. He knew he wanted to do it someday. He runs Badwater almost every year, but he didn't know until he finished Badwater 135 that this was the year he was going to do the double. He was going to turn around and run all the way back to the start line. So he told two of his pacers or two of his crew, hey, I think we're going to run back. And he said, what do you think about going back to the start? And they said, you mean running? and then he did it. They had to get back at a certain point to catch their flight. And then on the way back, there was a lot of smoke from fires, and Harvey was wearing like an N95 mask the whole way down Towns Pass because of the smoke. But lo and behold, he did make it. He did make it back. He made it back to. Here's the finished photo. 270 at the 282 feet below sea level sign where the race starts at Badwater Basin. I've been to Badwater Basin twice. It is a really cool thing. And if you look at our backdrop back here, I know I've pointed this out in the past, but this is the floor of Badwater Basin. But here they are at the finish. Now, something interesting that Marshall Ulrich, famous ultra runner Marshall Ulrich, he's one of the old school guys. He made a big comment on Harvey's Facebook post about this. And Harvey did say in the post, he said that it's not the traditional 146-mile double inspired by Lisa Smith-Batchen, Danny Westergaard, and Grant Mahan. What he means is the race, I think there was a time when Badwater actually went up all the way to the summit of Mount Whitney, not just to the Mount Whitney portal. So it was actually a 146-mile race with an additional, I think, 6,000 or almost 6,000 feet of climbing. So the true double is to go up to the summit of Mount Whitney and then all the way back to the Badwater Basin, which would add there's 9, that's 11 extra miles. That would add like 22 extra miles and like 6,000 feet of climbing.
Just a couple.
Yeah. So Marshall made the comment about not recommending it because it's not an official double. The reason the race doesn't go up to Mount Whitney summit anymore is because you have to have a permit to go up to the summit, and the permit is lottery based, and they just can't get permits for the runners. So they have to end at Mount Whitney Portal, which is like 9,000 feet above sea level. But anyways, Marshall Ulrich had a lengthy post about how it's not a true double, and he's basically advising people not to do it. I think he's concerned that it's going to become a precedent that people are going to say that it is an actual double. He made a second post which said, "I'm afraid this will set a precedent and people will think of going from Badwater to the portals and back as being a double." He says it would be like doing a Boston Marathon double, turning around short of the finish. So the portal is, as Bart Yasso has said, is the phony finish. The real finish is the top of Whitney, just as Al Arnold did. He said he doesn't mean to be a spoil sport, and Badwater 135 is a real challenge for sure, but it remains a bit contrived. All of his 20 finishes have been to the top for those reasons I have set forth. Ooh.
It's just such a weird, I don't know, man. It's like, I guess I'm really it's funny because like you've done it, I've done it, Ronnie's done it, Chad's done it, Pizza. We've all made fun of different people's finishes because it's a little different than what it used to be. I mean, shit, we were just kind of sort of sitting here doing with
the Enchanted
Badwater.
Valley. Well, we were doing it for Mohican.
Enchanted Valley's going. Like I think everyone kind of there's a level of like kidding and like poking the bear, kind of being funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I clearly don't know Marshall, right? And so I don't know if like he's just this rings more like he's trying to like, well, and like, dude, like, it's not Harvey's choice.
Right.
That the race stops at the portals now. It's not his choice.
Right.
I'm sure if Harvey had his way, he'd go all the way to the summit still. And so
absolutely.
it's like, and so like, why are you like shitting on
know.
people's finishes? It's so weird. The other thing that because I've read the post a couple times from Harvey, and it took like I read it the second time I read it, I caught it, and it's the fact that he even says where
he's been to the summit 5 times after the race.
Yeah,
it's tough to get a permit spontaneously.
Yeah. And he even it's right in like I don't know, like he has not really paragraphs, like the 5th paragraph down. It's not the traditional 146 double, but inspired by Lisa Smith-Batchen, Danny Way, and Grant. He even says, "Hey, it's not the traditional."
Right.
Like it's literally in the 5th paragraph down, and like
No, he acknowledged it.
So weird. But here comes Marshall. Oh, well, it's not really a double. Like, dude, like we know, man, but it's like we can't control that. It's still a really cool thing he did. It's just like
and I don't think it's gonna set a precedent. I know he's worried like people will start honoring it as a double. The double, and Marshall, in his defense, he is true. He's right when he says that the race does not honor the double no matter what, even if it goes up to the portal or whatever. So it's
because I don't think they want people really doing it.
Oh, hell no. No.
I mean, like, it's already dumb enough you ran out of Death Valley. You don't have to be even dumber to run into Death Valley.
Dude, that race, it's on the road. I mean, you got to deal with traffic. Like, it's dangerous.
I don't want to poo-poo and badmouth Marshall too awful much. Because he's
a legend. He's a legend, man.
Well, also, he has a race that I really, really, really want to do, and I don't want to get banned from his race. So I gotta be careful.
He is a legend, and I respect the hell out of Marshall Ulrich for sure.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
I just don't know why he's getting so upset about it. But I don't know. I guess it's just tradition with him, and like. I don't know. I can understand it from that point too, but all right, let's get into a little news. We got some fun stuff here. Mike Wardian, who's one of my favorite ultra runners, he's going to do the AT, and I don't know if we can hear this or not. I don't think so. Oh, I didn't need to do that.
Enough money to build a well in Ethiopia for World Vision. I'm trying to aim to start August 1st. Hope a lot of you will join me along the way. I'll put a tracker and everything out in the next couple weeks, but I just wanted to wish you all the best and let you know that I'm getting excited for it. All right.
Yep. So he's a legend. He did a Transcon, and he won the. Remember in COVID when they had the virtual backyard ultra? Remember there was like the couch guy and all that? Like the guy running around his couch.
Oh,
people running around their living rooms and like a bar, all this stuff. He won that. But anyway, great guy, and he's doing it for charity. It's a Christian organization that fights malnutrition, things like that. World Vision USA. So he's aiming to start August 1st. He's going north to south. His goal is to do it in 50 days. So he's not going for a record, but
now what's going to be kind of interesting, he's going north to south. What direction is Tara going?
Oh, that's a good point. Tara Dower is also going to be doing the AT.
Yeah.
I don't know which direction she's planning.
Because she's also doing it for charity. She's trying to raise money for charity too.
Yeah.
And now she's going for FKT though. She's wanting to set a record.
Yes, and she very well could set the record.
She could. Yeah, right. Yeah. So she's going, and so it would be kind of funny if they like high five as they blew by each other on the, you know what I mean? Like
that'd be cool as hell. Something's kind of jacked up with. Oh, here we go. She's beginning in August. She's attempting to set the supported FKT. Her friend Megan Joy 94 and her mom are crewing. She's been hard at work preparing. Let's see. What's the current FKT? 41 days and 7 hours. So yeah, she's going for it, man. And it's not saying which direction she's going, but I think that's actually the record from south to north, right?
I don't know. I'm intrigued now. But I just think it's kind of funny. Like they're both wanting to start in early August. You know what I mean? Like,
so,
and she's doing supported.
Yeah.
Right?
And his is supported too, I think.
And so, in theory, if they're both going north to south, they could run together. And could you know, well, so let me ask you, would that be a different FKT? Or would that still fall under the supported?
It would be supported for each of them. If they did it together, then yeah, but he's not going for FKT though.
Well, yeah, but he still wants to do it in 50 days.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
Yeah. I'm guessing she's going south to north. But.
Yeah.
August. I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, south and north. South and north that time of year could get sketchy because it's still going to take her. It's still going to take her 41 days, right? And so if you start August, 41 days.
She could get into September. If she starts, well, she's going to have to start at the beginning of August.
Yeah.
To stay out of any winter weather.
Yeah. And so
it's going to be hot, though. It's going to be hot.
Dude, down so hot. So
maybe
hot.
She is going north to south. You know what? More to come, folks. We will be following this, and we'll keep you informed. The next story we put off doing last week because we were out of time, but this couple, speaking of FKTs, this couple did they set the co-ed supported FKT. They did all the Colorado 14ers. They summit all the Colorado 14ers in a little over 12 days. 12 days, 6 hours, 43 minutes. That includes driving, driving to the different trailheads. And in order for it to count as a summit, I believe, they have to climb and descend at least 3,000 feet to the summit for it to count. So it has to be like a 3,000-foot climb. So that's no easy feat. And according to the article, when they started, the day prior to the effort, the Durango-Silverton train that they were using to reduce the approach distances to the 4 Chicago Basin 14ers and the San Juans was stopped by mudslides. Undeterred, they walked the extra miles. By the time they tagged the peaks and returned, the train was running again, and they could get a ride back to civilization. Storms, knee issues, rockfall, and a variety of other issues slowed them down. By day 3, they realized they wouldn't be able to hit their target time. They actually had better weather, but they were doing Gash Ridge from Blanca Peak to Mount Lindsay. It's like you're down climbing the stuff. So yeah, it's just like this easy trail going to the summit of each of the 14. Like there's some scrambling. There's not easy, right? So they were cold for several days. Look at that. Like that's pretty serious. Sleep deprivation took its toll. Anything that could go wrong went wrong. But they pulled it out. So congrats. That's quite an accomplishment. 58 14ers. I've only done one 14er in my life. And that was Handy's, which is on the Hard Rock course.
58.
Yeah, in 12 days and 6 hours and 43 minutes. So they also, she has the women's supported FKT on Nolan's 14. And that Nolan's 14 route is really tough. So that's kind of cool. And let's see what else we got here. Oh,
does that math break down to like 5 every hour? Is that what that breaks down to?
Well, let's just say it was 12 days, right?
So
12 days. 58 divided by 12. Oh, wait, no. 12 divided by 58.
Well, you'd have to if you turn your 12 into 24 hours, right? So if you do 12 times 24, right? So 12 times 24, that gives you that's 200. That's 288 hours, right? And then I said, okay, I got 288 hours taken care of.
Yeah.
And I want to divide that by the 58 peaks.
Yeah.
Right. Divide that by 58. So then I'm talking
5.
That's 1 every 5 hours, correct?
Yes.
5 hours.
That's correct. One every 5 hours. And that includes any sleep travel time.
Yeah.
Which is really crazy to think about. Because if you have maybe it's like climb and descend 3,000 feet. Maybe that means total. Is it 3,000 feet up and 3,000 feet down, or is it 1,500 up and 1,500 down to count? Either way, I think it's 3,000 up to count. So they must have really been cranking.
That's the part that's like I'm like fully like fascinated by the logistics of that.
Yeah, totally.
Like, how the fuck did they do that?
I don't know. There's hundreds of miles of driving in between the peaks.
Yeah.
Ranging from good highways to difficult four-wheel drive roads. So it's not all easy driving either. I don't know.
The math on this is fucking my head up.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention like 5 out of like let's just say that you were like teleported. Let's just say you were teleported to each one.
Yeah.
58 peaks. If you were just magically teleported, you only had 5 hours to go up and down.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if there's some that are like the peaks are kind of strung together.
Had to have. They had to have. And like, okay, I mean, I don't want to shit on getting to 14,000 feet. You got to the 14, and then you're like, you dip a few hundred feet, and then you get to another 14. Does that count as 2?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think, but this says you have to climb and descend at least 3,000 feet to the summit for it to count. There's no set route, but you have to climb and descend at least 3,000 feet to the summit for it to count. So I don't think you can string them together like that.
You can't.
Dude, I don't know, man. We need to look into this more. You're right. That is logistically, it doesn't make sense. Over the course of 12 days, the pair and their crew climbed to peak after peak. They wanted to quit several times. Yeah.
The other thing that I'm thinking about, the only way that I can also begin to think that this is doable is that they were not doing the driving. They clearly were not doing the driving, right?
I don't know.
Just
I would hope not.
Just something for folks to noodle on. That's 5. That is a peak every 5 hours.
Yeah. Well, okay. So to be fair, it was 12 days and 6 hours and 43 minutes. So 12 times 24 plus, let's say 7, just for rounding up.
Giggles, yeah.
295 divided by 58.
Yeah.
That's still 5, right? 5.09.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's.
Yeah. It's 5. You got to do 5, a peak every 5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I listen. I'm not trying. I want to see the math.
This has got to be on Strava or something.
Show me the data. I need to see the data on this. This is bending my mind.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
she is like really good. She has the I don't know if she still has it, but at one point she set the no one's 14 women supported FKT. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I actually do want to check it out more. This is a good one. You sent me this earlier.
Dude, this absolutely put a smile ear to ear on my face a couple of days ago.
Like, so some lady's out for a trail run, and next thing she knows, she's got like this whole flock of sheep behind her.
Like a whole herd.
Wherever you may go.
And there's like hundreds of them, right? And they're just kind of like standing there, like,
where are you going? What are we doing?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? So then she starts running again, and they're all just following her right down the trail. Like, it's just like, what can you do? She could be like, go home or stop. Like, they're just gonna be like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was reading the comments on that. Somebody said somewhere there's a border collie saying, "What the hell? Where did they go?"
Yeah.
It's kind of like a stray dog that, if you tell it to go home, like, go home.
Yeah.
And it just stares at you, like they don't know any better. But that would be interesting. Kind of funny.
I like it.
And last thing, I just thought this was hilarious. Did you see this? Snoop Dogg at the Olympics commentating on the badminton?
Yes. It has been super solid, yeah.
So let's play the audio here.
Flip your screen over. You're still on the border collie.
Oh.
Over there. What about over there?
Did you hear
about
it?
There? No, give me that. I need that too. No, sit down, senor. Get out. Wait a minute. Hold it. Way up in the sky. Now down. Back up. Over there. Now over here. Get out the way. Move. I told you we need that. That was a good point. Oh, I love this badminton right here. This is a great rally right here between China and the U.S. right here.
Like Snoop, I've been talking about this, like, he's awesome. Like, he's awesome to be at the Olympics. And I was just thinking about, remember a long time ago, he was like this hardcore gangster, like, now he's like this lovable guy, like, just, and he's at the Olympics. Like, he's like our rally person. Oh, and then you see Flavor Flav
is
donated to the women's water polo, and he's their hype man. Like, that's hilarious. It's great, really. But they're having fun over there. US is kicking some ass, which is awesome. So, but badminton, that's tough. Even tougher to commentate, but I think Snoop Dogg nailed it.
So good.
All right, man. Well, it's about time to wrap it up. Thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate you, and hope you're enjoying it. Let us know what races you got coming up. Race season, we're past halfway point. Getting into the late summer, early fall season, so a lot of races coming up.
If someone is hip to Colorado 14ers and FKTs and knows the rules of it, like,
yes,
let us know how the F they did 58 of them in like 288, 290 some odd hours.
Yep.
Like, let us know the logistics of that. Beth, listen, just off of speaking of Colorado people, did you ever meet Beth Shell when you lived back here in Ohio? You know Beth Shell, right?
I know her. Yes, I've met her, but I mean, I don't really know her too well, but I know who she is.
So if someone is listening to this and they know Beth Shell, big congrats to her. I see her and her husband just got a house out in Colorado. They moved out there a while back, and they're able to get, so big congrats. So Beth, now that you're a Coloradoan, I've seen you doing some hiking and some running out there. Hit us up. Let us know how the FKT thing works for 14ers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go.
All right. Sounds good. Yes, please let us know. All right, cool. Well, thanks everyone. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you next week. Thanks.